Good evening, everyone. It's Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or New York time. About 5 hours. Um, about midnight Liberian time. Is that? Yeah. So I we're gonna do something different tonight, slightly different, very light. I like to talk about the uh, the very obstacles is the path, and one may ask, path to where? To the very place you want to go. If the goal is change, genuine change, if the goal is transparency, if the goal is you want a government that is people centered, you want a government that responds to the need of the people in real time, you want a government that is uh, people centered, that would perform a job that they are hired to perform, which is solving problem, creating a path to the future, then you have to challenge the very thing that you see as an obstacle. All right. That there will be no easy path. This year, there's a fork in the road. So you will have to choose. That's how I see it. Be it the United States as it stands and Liberia and the all of Africa per se, we will have to take the high road. We will have to take the challenge. We will have to meet this obstacle head on. And that's how I see it. So before I start, I'm gonna go ahead and play a video out of Liberia, but I want to start with this video. Then I'm gonna play um, this one. So let me start with the first one here, and hopefully um, it will make sense to you. Now, I need you to listen here. Yesterday, Alexander Cummings, the former CEO of Coca-Cola, was on the radio station in Liberia, and he had an interview. And I like to play this interview, but I want to talk about this when he participated in the election in Liberia. What was said about him before we got here during the CPP era? There we go.
So yes, that's why Cummings has to be there. Cummings needs to understand the body politics of the country. Cummings is the most competent man. I'm afraid of losing this man. I'm afraid of losing him. Nobody else can pair with Ambassador Bouaka that can solve the country problem. The country problem is economic problem. Cummings rose up to the I just spoke at the Newtown yesterday, Sunday. Easter Sunday, they invited me. I left my family, went in there, came back to my family. I told them, and I spoke about Cummings, stop insulting this man. He's a gift. You pray to God every day. God help us, help us, help us. God has sent you a solution to you. Don't disrespect it. You bring curse upon yourself. Cummings, I told them to Google Coca-Cola Global net worth. We had an interactive. They Googled, it came out, $267 billion. That's what this man was managing. What is our budget? What is our economy size? No idiot can reach to that level. No corrupt person can reach to that level. Nobody lacking discipline, lacking administrative order can reach to that level. This man has been groomed by the private sector, the most competitive sector in the society. That which is clear for the country right now. So yes, that's why Cummings has to be there. Cummings needs to understand the body politics of the country. Cummings is the most competent man. I'm afraid of losing this man. I'm afraid of losing him. Nobody else can pair with Ambassador Bouaka that can solve the country problem. The country problem is economic problem. Cummings rose up to the I just spoke at the Newtown yesterday, Sunday. Easter Sunday, they invited me. I left my family, went in there, came back to my family. I told them, and I spoke about Cummings. Stop insulting this man. He's a gift. You pray to God every day. God help us, help us, help us. God has sent you a solution to you. Don't disrespect it. You bring curse upon yourself. Cummings, I told them to Google Coca-Cola Global net worth. We had it interactive. They Googled, it came out, $267 billion. That's what this man was managing. What is our budget? What is our economy size? No idiot can reach to that level. No corrupt person can reach to that level. Nobody lacking discipline, lacking administrative order can reach to that level. This man has been groomed by the private sector, the most competitive sector in the society. That which is clear for the country right now.
Okay. So I'm gonna stop here, guys. Anybody who want this will unspoon doing the Wallabaloo of the CPP after he had worked diligently, invested, all of us have, and they decided it must go this way. And that was a UP guy actually speaking, and that is the truth. So what I like to talk about today is I'm talking about the obstacle is the path. Okay. Whether we want to believe it as Liberians or not, the obstacle is the way. Okay. What we deem as the obstacle, I believe in impossible. Okay. Born in Liberia, in Nimba, grew up in Monrovia. I never thought, maybe I dreamt. Yes, I dreamt. Used to have the Western Yearbook that I will be here. And when I would tell my friends, they'll be like, how you going to get there? Okay. I believe, Mandela said it is impossible until it is done. I see some of you flying out numbers, 1%, 7%, demotion, promotion, height, color. If the goal for the nation is for us to be rebirthed, okay, to be rebirthed, then we must face our obstacle. And what our obstacle? We're saying, we said the issue is economic. How do we fix that? And you say it's political. It's not political issue. You have political issues since 1847. It has not changed. You've gotten some of the best politicians, meaning the best liars, the best rogues, okay, the best corrupt people who are known for corruption with no conscience. So here, what I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to go ahead and replay the interview with Mr. Cummings. And I heard a lot of people were asking, what has Cummings done? What did Bwaka do before you elect him? 40 plus years in government. He was still begging. What did he do? You will say Shibla and Gold are not the same. But the benchmark should be the same, though. I strongly believe leadership is about solving problems. You don't elect people because you feel sorry for them. You don't elect them because of their age. You don't elect them because they're old. The time is running out. You don't elect them because they're too young. You elect them because you believe they're capable of delivering. Okay, what are we trying to deliver? The future that is different than what our parents give us. The future that our children can dream and believe in their dreams. The future where Liberian children can walk in, turn the light on, and study and don't have to come outside to sit under a solar light that was donated by China, Japan, or America, that we claim we bought. Okay. Clean water, clean drinking water, that waterborne diseases are not the number one killer in our country, that men can take control of their home by producing, providing for their children because they can find work to do, that it's not from hand to mouth. Those are the obstacles that we need to face. And how do we face that? We need of forward-thinking leadership. We want a leader have been tested, not in the old system that have worked, that have proven record of creating, taking some broken things and rebuilding it. What Liberia needs is a new a rebirth. So let's listen to Mr. Cummings here for a second. Okay. And I wanted to talk about this. A guy called yesterday, deputy from maybe somewhere, somebody Morris, and said to Mr. Cummings, and said, you need to go to Maryland, that's where you're from, and run to be a senator. If Mr. Cummings just want to be part of the group and collect your own money and sit down, then he would do that. But why would he want to do that? He told you he wants change. For almost 200 years, you have experienced people. It has not changed. Our people are still hungry. Our children are still being raped. Our leaders are still begging other countries for us to survive. So let's look at this. Let's listen here to Alexander Cummings. I'm gonna pull this one out and let's listen to this interview. I'm just gonna sit here and watch that we listen to this interview. Okay. This is Alexander Cummings yesterday with Juliet Jai. That's where I'm going to play today. All right. I just want to re-echo this and see where we are. Okay. Here it is. If you are watching me, please. Let me see. Can I do this? Yep.
I must have disappointed you.
Yeah. Not really. That is more African.
Exactly, it's more comfortable.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Do you sing?
Do I sing?
Yeah.
Oh God, no! If I started to sing, we would run everybody out there. They would tell me, unfortunately, I don't. I love music.
Okay, which ones?
Okay.
I like African R&B. R&B is not my favorite genre.
Okay.
R&B, African music, jazz.
Give me 1 second, guys.
So my musical taste is eclectic.
Okay, yeah, that makes up. Yeah, and that
I want
makes
to
up.
move these.
But I can sing.
But when you say African, like, do you have some songs that you love?
So my favorite Liberian song is Grateful by Dench.
Okay.
Favorite Liberian song. So
And you even know the name of the artist.
I do. I met him.
Okay.
I like the song so much. I recently.
Okay, yeah, give me 1
I got an
second.
award
They're starting up.
Atlanta.
So I'm going to bring this up. I want to fix this. I want to see what's going on here. So give me 1 second. He's going to be talking. And I'm going to be fixing this video.
And that's the music I had them play. Should go to listen to the lyrics. I'm also being grateful about being blessed, and it expresses my life and how I feel.
Good. Okay. It is. We have it. Good. What about R&B? What's your most favorite?
Well, so I will show my age, but I like OJs, I like the Commodores,
Okay.
I like Ashford and Simpson, I like Stevie Wonder. So that's my show my age. Most of the people listening, I don't know all of those artists. You maybe, but
I know because I follow music a lot, so I know about it. Yeah, Commodores.
Right.
They have a popular song that I was trying to.
Just to be close to you, or Zoom, or 3 Times a Lady, because I all come out those songs.
3 times a lady. Are you a romantic person?
I am. You might surprise people.
Yeah, because when you say 3 times a lady, I'm like, Cummings doesn't come across as a romantic.
I come across as all these negatives, but I am a romantic. Yes, I like ballads. So most of my songs, all these artists, OJs, they're all mostly ballads.
Well, then let's talk more about you. Who is this Cummings? And perhaps we will even drive through how you managed to get your wife and all of that, but being a romantic.
I love to share. I love to share that.
Yeah, give us a little background about you.
Yeah. So as you may know, I grew up in Point 4. My parents started very modest. I went to demonstration.
Which one?
Demonstration school on Clay Street.
Okay, that's a public school.
Yeah, it is. Then I went to Xavier, Ashford Street, Maine. President Boyka went to CBA. President Ellington said he went to CBA. So there's a track record there. I went to Connecticut. I worked at LBDI. I went to graduate school. I have three sisters, one deceased. My father started as a cadet in Ministry of Education, and then he rose up. He actually left government when he was in his early 50s. I don't think anybody does that. I went into the priesthood full-time, Episcopal priest.
Oh, okay.
So very strong Christian values. My mother didn't finish high school. My father went to university. He got a scholarship. He went to school in Lebanon, American University of Beirut. Did a master's of public administration. My mother only finished high school. She was a practical nurse, so she learned nursing on the ground. But I think what's relevant there, Julius, is the values I picked up from my parents: hard work, integrity. My mother used to always say, "I don't kill anybody," and that discipline stuck with me. My mother was kind of the disciplinarian in the family. She was a beat us, right? She was Rattan. My father was more the intellectual. Whenever I was told you had to do something, then I would resent it. I would be so. Every Sunday we had to go to church. Whenever it was my decision to go to church, I enjoyed service. Whenever my mother finally you come to church every Sunday, then the whole service I'd be vexed, right? So I don't know if that's stubbornness or how you describe it. But those
That's stubbornness, Mr. Cummings. You're stubborn, very stubborn.
Integrity, hard work is who I am. It's kind of come from my upbringing, my family. The attitude of giving back. I always start because I've been very blessed in life. And so I've helped many Liberians in multiple ways, but I don't talk about it because I think it's disrespectful, right? And people say politics.
Why you
I
are
make it public. Yeah, but I'm a new politician, right? I was business, private citizen, right? So I'm learning now that as a politician, maybe I need to say more about what I've done. And the list is exhaustive, right? Whether it's scholarships, whether it's medical supplies, whether it's generators to BWR, to the Muslim University on the whole road. The list goes on and on. Whether it's paying WAC, school fees. But those are all values that came from my upbringing. My mother was a small businesswoman. She used to sell women's clothes and garments. Maybe that's where the business side I inherited I went from. One of my older sisters, it's in education. Maybe she got it from my old man. My father was in education. So my sister has a PhD. One of my younger sisters who passed away was in the church. She was a reverend. Maybe she got it from my father. So we all get things from our parents, right? But that's a little bit of who I am. I like music, hobbies. I like to read. I like to walk.
Yeah, I saw you walking one time in Cinco.
And I still do that.
You and your wife?
My wife and I, yeah. I've been married now for over 40 years. Teresa and I, we got 2 children. My daughter Ayo Nike. So my maternal grandfather was Nigerian. My mother's father, so Ayo Deli, kind of Yoruba name. So my daughter named after my mother Ayo. And then so Ayo Nike, she had a full Nigerian name. Ayo Nike Cummings, and my son Boykai. I had an uncle and cousin named Boykai.
Because I almost asked you if you named me after President Boykai.
Yeah. What was my friend? But it was no after my aunt was married to Boyka Passory. And so his son is also Boyka Passory. So I named my son Boyka, but he's Boyka Alexander. So I gave him my first name as his middle name. And then we've got 5 grandchildren, 4 biological, 1 adopted. So that's I got a niece and a nephew. So that's the immediate family.
Why is it a secret for which some of those people think that they together? They usually have 1 or 2 children, or they hardly have many children.
Yeah, I mean, we had 2. I think Teresa wanted a 3rd child, but we got 2. So once we got a girl and a boy, then we said, okay, we got 1 each, and we decided to stop there. And the way I think, by the way, I was thinking, you gotta pay for the children to go to college, all that kind of stuff, right? So maybe I should start at 2.
Okay, so at that time, you were not there yet.
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
So, well, I'm always a person who thinks ahead, Julius.
Okay.
I'm very planful and deliberate in what I do. And some people find that boring, or they find that, maybe the man's an elite. I like to start on time. You know that, by the way, right? I think it's disrespectful to keep people waiting. Look, sometimes I'm late too, but not often, because things happen. Life happens, But I think you should be on time. Time is money, it's efficient. Because I had a chance to run a very large, complex organization, Julius, time was important. If I'm calling the general manager in Japan or in Indonesia or in Lagos, he needs to pick up the phone. Or if he's calling me, we say 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, whatever it is, we have no time because any other things to do. We gotta deliver, we gotta be accountable, right? So that's how I'm wired.
How did you get involved with Coca-Cola? Tell us that story.
Yeah, so I want to tell how I met my wife too. But
Okay, no, let us do that before we go to Coca-Cola. Yeah, talk about how you met your wife and to be married for 40 years.
Yeah, 42 now, yeah. So it was another Liberian girl. I was in the US. It was this is my Howard Collins. Howard, my wife knew each other. So my wife was a guidance counselor in the dorm. And we were on the campus of Atlanta University Center, and they were across the courtyard, big courtyard on the other side.
How did you go to that university?
So I went to graduate school. Okay. After
was it a scholarship or you paid for it?
Part of the scholarship and part of the paper. I worked all the way to graduate school.
Okay.
So I had a full-time job at a bank, in the operations section of a bank, and then I used to go to school.
Okay.
So it was tough working full-time and going to school, but then I had a partial scholarship. But Howard was across the show with Teresa. She literally, I never met Teresa. She said, Alex can meet your future wife.
Wow.
Just like that, swear to God. Just like that. He said, Alex can meet your future wife. And then so Teresa and I met, went to the movies on our first date, and I fooled her. I cooked for her. I don't cook. I like to eat. I don't really cook.
But you just managed to cook.
But I managed to cook. And I job her. She thought she was married to my And
Very interesting.
it's very different in the sense that I'm more of an introvert. That people say that's what they say I'm not friendly or whatever else. I'm quiet and stuff. And Teresa is an extrovert, is a yin and yang. So she remembers games, she talks to people, we go out, she's mingling. And for me, that's hard work to mingle because I like my music, I read my book. Right now, that's not politician.
Oh, Mr. Curry, Mr. Curry.
But
Mr. Curry.
She's a warmer, friendlier person. So that's what they say, yin and yang, right? That's what. But I also have a philosophy that says, happy wife, happy life. So, wife happy, life will be good.
And you've tried to be happy. At what point did you make the decision to marry her?
We dated for about a year. And then we decided to get married.
Okay.
Yeah.
And since then, what are some lessons you can pass on to younger people listening, managing their marriages? Because to be married for 2 years, through everything else.
So you have to, what I call make trade-offs. You can't have your way. You gotta make a compromise. You gotta compromise. Sometimes you will get your way. Sometimes you want, and both parties need to understand. Both parties need to understand that you're no longer doing decisions by yourself. You make decisions for you and your wife, or your wife making for you and your husband and for your children. So you gotta always keep that in mind, right? You gotta work at making sure you're meeting each other's needs, making each other happy, understanding what irritates one person versus the other, right? There's a lot of those small things that you need to do, but the key is to recognize that you have to make compromises. It cannot be all one way, right? You can't have it all. Everybody got to make compromises to a marriage, and you got to recognize that your decisions are no longer yours alone.
I'm going to ask you some very tough questions that may get under your skin, but that's the nature of an interviewer like me. Being an executive who goes to the top companies and all of that, did you get tempted to cheat?
Yes. And
did you do it?
No, I did not.
Why not?
But because I felt it would be disrespectful to my wife. There was no need to do it, right? All my needs were being met, right? But I would, live see the temptation wasn't there. I mean, I'm human, and women are attracted to powerful people and that kind of stuff, right? So it's all about the discipline as well of not doing that. Yeah.
Good. Now, the Coca-Cola story, how did you get to that top? Was it because people favored you, someone liked you in the system and just kept promoting you or what?
No, so I always start my success to say I've been very blessed, and a lot of my success, and I think for all successful people, whether they admit it or not, is providence, is blessing, and I want to always start there. Then it's the things you do, right? Is the discipline, the hard work, is the recognition, Julius, that you don't know it all. So it's about building teams of people. It's about getting people who are smarter than you and not to be intimidated by that. Because as you rise up as a leader, people remember you for success or failure. So in my mind, and I'm glad I learned that early, get the best people who are smarter than you, make sure you can work together.
That can be intimidating.
It can be. But when you get results, you as the leader will get the credit. Or you will take the blame. This is why it's important to get the best talent. One of my biggest strengths I tell people to learn is that I'm very comfortable with who I am. I know what I know, I know what I don't know. And I want to get people around me who will help me with the things I don't know. I don't want to hire people on my team who are just like me. I don't want too many mini Alexes, mini me, who will just tell me what I want to hear, because you're not helping me.
Yeah.
I want people with different point of view, smarter in certain areas, and that was the key to my success, getting the right teams, holding people accountable. So if we're supposed to deliver results, I'm very results oriented. If we say we're going to do something, we're supposed to do it. It's not about, cutting corners, excuses, right? It's simple as people say they get because of the weather is raining. Makes me vexed. Rain every year for at least 6-7 months in a year. We know the traffic will be heavy when it's raining. So you just get up early. So you can be on time. When I used to run Nigeria, when I first started, people would make excuses about the rain and weather. I said, sorry, not an excuse, right? Or the power situation used to be bad just like that. Power bad every day, not going to go away. We got to work around it, right? That's the only way you can achieve results. So sitting in Liberia, if we want to change Liberia, we can't make excuses for each other. We need to push each other.
We will come to that. Where did you start from in Coca-Cola?
So I started in Nigeria.
Those of you who log in, thank you so much. And please continue to share this video. I want us to have give me 1 second. Let me just tap this for a second. Okay.
Were you in Liberia? Were you already?
No, I was already in the States. Okay. So I was working for another company called the Pillsbury Company. Okay.
Yeah, I want us to have another, just have a moment and pay attention to this. Take your time and listen.
36. I was the youngest officer to make VP at the time at Pillsbury.
I'm going to continue to play it, and I'm going to just bring me up a little bit, okay, so I can focus that.
Providence, but then the work ethic, the discipline, the focus, the results delivery, you're building the right teams of people, you're making the tough calls. Sometimes people are not performing, you try them in a different role. They say not performing, you let them go. But you let them go with a dignity. You don't make them feel like, whatever. So I went from Pillsbury, where I was an officer, and I joined Coca-Cola in Nigeria. I was managing the entire Coca-Cola business. At the time, it was the second largest business in Africa for Coca-Cola. So I did that for about almost 2.5, 3 years, and I became.
What was the interview process like?
Look. I've managed teams, people, etc., etc. So questions along those lines, interviews along those lines. So we got the job, and then we did it very well. We were very successful. I got promoted to run half of Africa. I was based out of Nairobi, so I went from Lagos to Nairobi. And then within a year, I took over all of Africa, whole Africa group, 54 countries. Initially, I was based out of London, and then I moved the group office to Johannesburg, and it's still there today. I ran Africa group for 7 years. We more than double earnings. We grew volumes, introduced new products. We started the Coca-Cola Africa Foundation, something I'm very proud of, to give back to communities around the continent. Then I got a global role, executive vice president and chief administrative officer globally. So almost all the company's functions, strategy, human resources, legal, information technology, IT, all of what we call the technical functions, R&D, quality, procurement, manufacturing.
That is you
all
came
reported to
from,
me.
so that means you came from managing Africa to that role. Now, I know there were managers for you, for Asia, and all of that. So obviously it was a tough competition. How did you sail through that to be able to dominate those powerful countries?
Results. When I ran the Africa group, there were two groups that were best performing. The group from Latin America, which was with bigger geography, so Latin America, Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, Mexico, and the Africa group. And you had the US America, you had Asia. The Africa group and Latin were the two best performing. Consistent delivery results every year. We grew volume, profits, good quality, the scores and our people satisfaction, all the best. And so it's those results that my boss at the time saw, who was chairman and CEO of the company, asked me to come to Atlanta, from Johannesburg, and take over all of those functions on his behalf. We did it for 8 years, and we did it extremely well. So I'm very proud of my record.
Sometimes people think it is working with such a company like Coca-Cola. There are those who think there's already it is a templated kind of job. There's a template. You really don't have to do anything difficult. It is already there, just to deliver.
That's complete nonsense. You have to put templates in place. You have to change the templates when they're not working. So, like whether it's a country or any company, if you just assume you will keep the same template and the world is changing around you, everything is moving and it will still work, you will fail ultimately, right? So yes, there are processes and systems. You have to constantly change it. You have to constantly adapt it, right? You have to move structures, people, right? So it's nonsense when you think you just can keep the system and don't do anything to change it. So we change systems. In fact, in the 8 years, we migrated to new young leaders. The people I inherited on day one, when I left, it's a completely new team, right? That was part of the change process. More younger people, more forward-thinking people, we're changing all the functions, right?
All right. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop this video here, and I'm going to explain a little bit from what Mr. Cummings is saying. So give me 1 second, folks. I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to talk to this, okay? Because all right, I'm going to come back. I'm going to play that back again, but I'm going to come back here. Let me explain to most of you, especially in Liberia, who were calling and say, oh, this man inherited this job. That means the systems and processes in place. He does not have to do anything. That is not a true statement. That's not the way the business segment works. Okay. And especially in today's global environment, okay, processes are changing. The essence, the CEO is like the president or the head of state per se. There go my sister. I'll call you back. Okay. The president is like the head of state. All right. So the president must be thinking for the organization, must be looking for the best possible brain, must be trying to, especially in this global, and talk about global environment, this changing environment, right? With technology, you have to start looking for a new way to increase the business. Not only are you looking for a new way to increase the business, you have to find new way for process. Okay, we are coming from, let's say for instance, Coca-Cola. We are coming from, let's say in the early 90s, from analog to digital. Okay, and you are expanding around the world. We have flights that are moving around. You're looking for a new product line. You're getting new what do you call it, competitors. So as the CEO, you must be thinking on your feet, looking for the best possible people, being able to recognize talent, being able to bring in change and make sure the company is solvent and is better than where you got it from, or you will easily be replaced. Now, let's come back here. If you take onto a corporation that, according to Liberians, is already set and the templates are there, okay? What do you call it? Border Books, we're not going to go bankrupt. CRE Box, we're not going to go bankrupt. In fact, no company, no big corporation in America will go bankrupt. So if the mindset is that it's a corporate organization, the plate is, it's the Liberian mindset, right? We get a law. This is our tradition. This is our culture. It can't change. Although the world has evolved, evolved, and we refuse to meet the challenge of the day. That's why we're still what are we doing? Our process is still manual. That's why we still want to give people guns to go collect taxes when the taxes can be automated. That's why we still want to take our little girls in the bushes and do whatever we want to do to them. Listen, let me get it straight. I believe in having some sort of cultural norm. I believe in women having some sort of sorority where they believe together that the harmful part can be taken away. Just like here, those days, those who joined the different sorority or fraternity in America, they were pledged. They used to do something called hazing, meaning they would get you drunk and people started dying because it was harmful. The people have to come back to the table and say, okay, this does not work. All right, it is harmful. We want to initiate young people. We want them to have a system of brotherhood, but this does not work. So we're going to change that. We're going to keep the belief of brotherhood intact, but this particular part, we're going to cut it off. That's how you change process. That's how you make adjustment. All right. So when I heard a man called in yesterday, who they say is a deputy minister, with that kind of mindset, deputy minister calling and telling Mr. Cummings, go to Maryland. And in fact, Coca-Cola, like 7 men. Coca-Cola, you just heard, now he's an ambassador. He was an ambassador under the last UP government. Says to you all that at the time, was $250 billion organization, an American legacy organization with over 70,000 employees, got more employees than the Liberian Liberian government, has more money than the whole of the existence of Liberia. Okay. So King, let me answer that question. I think you see my title. My title said the obstacle is the way. Yes, it can. It will take you, it will take me, it will take everybody else. Yes, we can. I believe that. I do not believe that number was his number. I do not believe that. If anybody believes that number was truly the number that Cummings gained, then there's something, it says to all of us, let me say this, it says to all of us, there's something inherently wrong with us. Even the educated class, all right? Y'all can say, oh, the people that illiteracy not being able to read and write in the white man world does not necessarily mean that something you're unintelligent. Okay, reading English and writing English is not a sign or a sign of intelligence or a lack thereof. All right. We conducted interviews in Nimba, in places after the elections. I was on the air in the whole of Nimba. People call and say that was not our vote result. I remember. We have to remember this. Majority of the people that were entering the data at the center were Europeans. The higher hierarchy was sedition because I appointed in the commission and all of that. But those who were actually putting in the numbers, they were European. And when UP decided that they will lie and walk backward from the CPP, they said they would make sure Mr. Cummings was going to get 1%. They didn't get 1%. Even CDC, who was the leader, CDC chairman said they know that not the number. So yeah, it is. So let's say send the data say that is the number, but then it also speaks to us as Liberians in the diaspora, okay? Especially what we're facing today in America with Donald Trump and everybody else. If we believe, okay, I particularly think it's possible. Here is what I think is possible. Mandani, okay, when he started his campaign, 9 months before the election, he was under 1%. Imagine a Muslim young man born in Africa, okay, raised here in New York, with mostly Jewish people and foreigners, with 1% were teasing he was not going anywhere. You know why? It took hard work. It took people wanting different things. It took the citizens of New York running off their sleeves, knocking at door. It took the young people who believed that they needed change, they needed affordable housing, they needed to coexist, they needed the New York that they came to the melting pot, not even the melting pot, the salad bowl that came with what? The lettuce, the tomatoes, the onions, you name it, the nuts, you name it, all right? The crucian, all of these things, they wanted that New York back. So they got out. So yes, I believe that. I believe it's possible. The obstacle is the way. We cannot look away. We will never change Liberia 100 and over 200 years. And we don't want to change that. You know, because I study history, I live in the United States. Don't look at it this way. There weren't enough Black people in this country to fight to get independence. Oh, I know. The place that I was a pool washer at, my dear, the place that I was a pool washer at, you know who had the whole ballet? One woman. She brought the ballet slept with her, okay? And she brought it on motorbike. The king, they have stuff all over cover. You can't even see it. It was not transparent. So yes, we can come back. King asked me a question. King, it will take you. It will take me. If we believe that Cummings can with him and his light, okay? Listen, I just heard Mr. Cummings telling that person and started laughing. And everything that he said that on that conversation, it sounds so much like him. Okay. Me and Mr. Cummings have the flower. And when he say he's stubborn, we all know he's stubborn. We all know he is stubborn to his core. We do. Anybody who have known Mr. Cummings for a while, you will know he is stubborn. He is determined. He's not. And I think that's why he became successful. When you beat him down, he does not stay down. He rises up every time. That's the kind of leader Liberia needs. Liberia needs a leader that have their head on their shoulder. Liberia needs a leader who understands that that to succeed, there's something in that journey. There a twist and turn. There for folks. They're rolling up your sleeve. Their sweat, their cry, their tears for you to get somewhere. So when I hear Liberian people, yeah, I'm a business major. I have an MBA. Okay, I work in corporate for a long time. No, I never got halfway to where Mr. Cummings got to. All right, I just want you to know that I never did. All right, and I respect the man, because if you live and work in America, in corporate, the competition, the cutthroat island, mind you, an African child with an accent, and they will make sure they let you know that you have an accent. They will make sure they ask you, where are you from? Me, they can always ask, are you a Jamaican? Why you think that? So where are you from? Now go, why is that important right now? Okay. Even those of us who work in education, it's the competition. America is not where somebody gave you job title. We're not talking about Trump and his government. And you must perform. You heard Mr. Cummings say, you must deliver. Exactly, Ezekiel. So listening to Mr. Cummings, and I think you should listen again. When the man call and say Coca-Cola, that's 7 people. If Coca-Cola, that's 7-man company with $250 billion, and Liberia, that 5 million people company, and a begging for 1.2 billion and sinking some. In fact, even 1.2 billion, the 200,000 that there for them to sell their soul and their children's future. That way it is. So I wanted to bring this to bear and stop a little bit and let you know everything. Mr. Cummings, we will have a conversation, and I will say to him, Mr. Cummings, I respect you, and since you are the leader, I accept, but I respectfully disagree. We do that. We do that. All right? We do that. So to speak up, to tell you all, when the Liberian person who do not understand, that means they don't understand. When somebody say, you have platform, you have this in place. If that is the case, companies in America will never file bankruptcy. Let's get that clear. Border Books will not have filed bankruptcy. Xerox will not have filed bankruptcy. CS Reeboks will not have filed bankruptcy. Macy will not have closed down most of its store and just have few operational. Okay, I can go on and on and on. Businesses will not fail in America because they already have the blueprints. But there's nothing is static. It's constantly revolving. And as the CEO, they hear, just like as a manager, okay? Like when I work for a T-Systems, a Synovus, which was the largest credit card processing company in the world at the time. And as a supervisor, I have to oversee people. I have to make sure they deliver. At the end of every month, there is a target. We must meet that target or exceed it. All right? All hands have to roll. We have to make adjustment if we get new client. Like for instance, we have Capital One. We have Bank of America. Sooner or later, we had what is company name? Yes, Prince. Okay. Mr. President.
Madam President, how you doing?
Good evening, sir. I told you the last time you should join me. Then you call it in. Why you didn't join me? You need to join me. Okay. Okay. You're live. Go ahead. Call your name and say hello. Yes.
Well, I will try to reserve some time, and then it will be an honor for me to be a part of this wonderful and inspiring program.
Thank you.
And I will be glad to come and make my own contribution.
Yes.
But I will still keep my promise as long as you keep me your promise.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And we've been on this journey for a long time, and you are consistent. And God bless you. I am glad. Yes.
When I first met you, and then I discovered that it is not your effort and your cause to see that Liberia become the country that it deserves to be.
Amen.
It didn't start when we had Facebook.
Yes.
No, it didn't start when we had internet.
Yes. Yes.
It
Amen.
went far beyond that.
Yes. Yes.
And because it went far beyond that, I promise you, I said that whenever you light the fire, I will come over.
You will show up.
I will gather myself around it.
Yes.
Not only just to get the warmth of it, but to also make my own contribution.
Amen. Amen. What's your thought? What's your thought on that interview with Mr. Cummings? You know, I'm talking about, I didn't play everything. I will play the rest maybe tomorrow evening. I wanted to do it in segment. He talked about his beginning, where he started from, how he had to deliver, how he's secure in, because he wants to surround himself with people who know more than him, who are better than him, because in the end, those people will not be remembered. He will be remembered. That's the way he sees it. That's how he sees his leadership. Get the best possible brains, you know, minds and hearts and mind. Bring them together to build a nation, to build an organization. That's how he was able to save Pillsbury, and then leave another product line, or a few product lines with Coca-Cola. And that nothing is static in the Coca-Cola, because people were, you know, Julia asked, they say, oh, you inherited a template. But template, you got to customize template. Template does not stay that way forever, or you're going to go bankrupt. So go ahead. What's your thought?
Thank you, Madam President. I believe it was a wonderful, brilliant interview, and I'm not surprised. If you have been following Arizona Cummings from the inception and involvement within the Liberian politics, he has been one of the politicians who are not shy away from the microphone, who are not shy away from the hard questions, and who has given answer that is directly in proportion to the condition Liberia is into, and Liberia is constantly and perpetually being thrust into by its politicians.
Correct.
So it was a brilliant interview. However, I still think that all those who are, he needs a better handler. When I mean handler, I mean people around him who can be able to cultivate the message he's trying to put forward, and who can be able to guide him to addressing and navigating the landmines that is in our Liberian politics when it comes to the issues. Because if I was handling Mr. Cummings, first of all and foremost, going for that interview, there will be a ground rule set. It's traditional, even with the press. There will be a ground rule set. That ground rule will be that, look, I'm coming here for an interview. The base of the interview is address the condition and the state of the affair of the nation, and how to put forth solutions to be able to help alleviate the condition of the many Liberian people who find themselves in the circumstances they have been thrust into by the politicians. That is what I'm coming here for. I will answer questions. I will offer solutions. And there are certain questions that is off the table. I mean, there are certain questions that is absolutely irrelevant. What food I eat today? What liquor I drink today? What fufu I eat today? What kind of brief I'm wearing? Those are irrelevant. I'm not going to give an attention nor answer those kind of questions. And it's sad. I mean, I'm disappointed.
Oh, no. Listen, somebody called to ask where he ate today and what brief you were wearing?
No, I'm saying something.
Oh, okay. You're being hypothetical. Okay, you're being hypothetical. I got that. Yeah.
I'm basing this on to have the meaning of the question that the journalist asked. I don't know if it was part of the agreement for such a naive question. The question about that issue, that lie that was put forth, that lie that was...
but the thing is though, and let me come in here a little bit.
We don't need to even give credence to it. I don't want you to even mention it. Everybody know what we're discussing.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
My point I'm making, Arizona Cummings has addressed that issue. Even the person who brought forth, who fabricated that issue, who made that lie, even confessed publicly that it was a lie. So
Yes.
he addressed that issue. So for that question to be asked
Again on almost every platform. Yes.
there are times when the Liberian people are looking and longing for leadership, and they are in destitution, and the government is continuing to play game with them. For such a question to be asked, and then I mean, I was very, it was shameful and embarrassed on that journalist that asked that question because it had no relevance. Has that been coming? I was telling you, I said, look, my man, this is irrelevant question, and I'm not here to get entertain that. You got people who raping young boys here. You go after them.
Exactly.
I've been
Yes.
for almost 10 years or 12 years. You ever heard any woman say I'm chasing them because of a man?
I like that. I like that. I like that.
I'm faithful husband of my wife. I got my grandchildren. I'm a son of a priest.
Yes.
My father is a man of God. I installed that Judeo-Christian faith is what constitutes my life. What made me successful in America? You ask me serious question, you ask me an irrelevant question. It's an insult to me on your platform. Don't try to insult me again. Because sometimes I'm very you can insult me indirectly and you point finger. You ask me that question, you're trying to insult me. Please don't insult me. I'm on the platform here to address the issue, the condition of Liberian people. Liberia needs safe drinking water. Liberia needs a viable economy. Liberia needs a place where the people can get paid every 2 weeks.
Yep.
They get paid every 3 months. They get paid one time. I'm here to address the condition where Liberia can be respected internationally, where international partners can settle Liberia on the same table and discuss global affairs. That's what I'm here to discuss. I'm here to discuss that foolishness. Don't bring that foolishness to me. Whenever you see me on the platform, if you want to ask that question, go after those people who are carrying those things affecting abuse our young boys.
Our young boys, our young girls. Yes.
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 I've been in the country for since I returned in the country for almost 15, 20 years. Never hear even a single thing. Please don't ask me that question. Ask me a sensible question. Ask me a question about what we can be able to secure the sovereign wealth for our nation. Or we can leverage our national resources and create a national sovereign wealth. And then we can create a national gold reserve where our currency can be backed by our gold that we're digging every day and go transporting it, taking it. That's a question I want to answer here. I want to answer how our people can be educated, how our young people can be they can have the facility to go to school free of charge. I'm here to answer a question why the national budget cannot be at the aspiration of politicians, but the aspiration of Liberian people. What 60% of the budget will not be spent on recovery expense, rather it will be spent on the welfare and the well-being of Liberian people. That's what I'm here to address. He asked me such a foolish and stupid question. Don't do that next time. I'm not here on the platform for that. I want to entertain that anymore. The first time it happened, I was very sympathetic. I wanted to go and sue whoever was trying to tarnish my reputation. I want to go and sue them so they can answer questions, because when you say something that's not true, there's a law called libel. You're creating it's a criminal offense.
Yeah, it's a defamation. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
People talk to me and they say don't go that route. And me being a peaceful person who wants to transition Liberia from war, from division, and into where we can coexist, I forget about it. Now you're entertaining now. Don't ask me that question anymore. You close that particular chapter. And whenever he said to discuss, then he discussed the issue of Liberia. And now they have the condition of revitalizing the country and giving the country hope. Not entertaining stupid question.
I would send this particular one. I would just record this part. I would send it to Mr. Cummings.
The issue of Coca-Cola. Listen, Coca-Cola. My work with Coca-Cola is a mirror of my character.
Yes.
I don't give a damn. Even if I had worked with any company, my character would have been the one to carry me anywhere. So you think that Coca-Cola thing for that? I work with big companies. So I advise big companies I even know about right now.
Yep.
Global companies.
You sit on sit on boards.
Coca-Cola.
Yes.
Like when I talk about Liberia, budget going to $1 billion. You're costing me today. You're getting a fake budget carry. When they're on the paper, you're carrying around $1 billion.
And then they
see nothing.
Yes.
I'm here to help this country. I feel obligated to it because the country has given me much. So if you come here, you don't want to have me serious question, just take that nonsense away from me. I'm going to the people. I'm going to the market women there. I'm going to the Yana board there. I'm going to talk to them. I explain my case today. You know, the team, because I'm not like the normal politician who's sleeping with a girlfriend there, who's sharing girlfriend with them. They don't want to use me as president. That's their business. I don't care. I love this country. This country is my country. I want to see it better. My friends who discuss every day. I got people in economic, global powerhouse. They look at me, discuss. They tell me how potential the company can be. They tell me how West Point can be transformed into a viable tourism place. They tell me how Kepamo can be established as a place. They will discuss this thing. They every time come to you want to talk nonsense. You're talking about any football player there. What did they do for you? Any man, follow your man. What you do right now? Ain't going to 48,000 roller watch. You ever see 48,000 roller watch on my head before? After all the money I get, any football player will flying helicopter going from place to place. You don't think I can put helicopter in the air? I can put 10 helicopter in the air in Liberia. I can put 100 cars on the street. But that's not my life. That's not how I came out. That's not how my parents brought me up. That's not what I would do to become president of this country. I'm not out of the country. It's not into a means. I'm not trying to get rich by being president of Liberia. I'm trying to get back to Liberia. All the young politicians in the country are rich. Look at this Snow Key for selling gas in the bottle and selling real cardboard, hanging behind somebody pick up. Do they look at the mansion you're building in the bush? You see me, you ever say you don't think I can build a mansion like that? So let's talk about Liberia, viability of Liberia, how we can transform Liberia. Time is going fast.
Thank you, Prince. Thank you. I will need you.
It's a stupid, dumb question. Every day we hear who can hear nonsense about Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is not defined as an economy. As an economy define Coca-Cola. If he had not contributed positively, if his life had not been one, if he had not, this is corporate America. If you can't get anything, you're not going anywhere.
No.
Nobody there is not coming favor here in America. He did favor to the company that they appreciated him. He has sent them into the ranks. Any man president, and that's the same thing I want you to know, because you sit on your platform, don't entertain talking about foolishness happening in Liberia. Let's talk about Alexander Comey agenda for Liberia. That's a man who want to see that Liberian people get paid every 2 weeks, not get paid every 6 months. That's a man who want to see a young child go to school free of charge from kindergarten to high school. A university student will not go to school free. No university is going to school free. If you can lay a boy to get a university, find a job, do a job, work, and then the government will use out your work, and you'll be able to go to school. If you can't afford school, the government can help you, but you gotta get back to the government. Join some program, engineering, other places, road building, agriculture program. Get into it, and through that, it'll give you a credit for you to be able to pay your tuition.
Thank you, Prince. My time.
Let's talk about Liberia growth and viability.
Thank you.
Being played into the hands of corrupt Unity Party and corrupt CDC. They all have been given a chance. Two Win Party, fail Liberia. NDPL, fail Liberia. NPP, fail Liberia. And Unity Party, fail Liberia. ANC, let's try ANC. Try it, it's not coming. We got nothing to lose.
Thank you. Thank you, Prince.
Liberia got nothing to lose. What Liberia has to lose right now? A football player can get rich on Liberia. You got Liberia lose anything?
Thank you, Prince.
Thank you, my president. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Thank you.
Talking about nonsense and foolishness happening in Liberia.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you, folks. I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna, how you call it. I didn't want to play all of the video, but I wanted to explain to the Liberian people when they say in the corporate, because most, especially the guys who were speaking yesterday, because it is our job to explain to our people how it works. It's like if you are running your laptop door and you sell, you eat, it's designed that way. You don't change the chair. You don't renovate. Okay, eventually people might stop coming. The price may change, but the place may not change. So to grow the business, you have to innovate. What does that mean? You have to expand. You will have to invest. You will have to think about how to fix that. Okay, and that's how it needs to be. I'm gonna go. I will play this for the last time. I will say to all of you who are running. Mo, we're on for Thursday. Oh man, so be here. Thursday, 8 p.m. Folks, I will talk to you on my personal page tomorrow. This is the page for all of us to hang out. All right. I think Mr. Cummings had an excellent interview yesterday. But I will speak to majority of the people now in Liberia who are into the press. Listen, the essence of journalism is, especially professional journalists, you gather information, you verify those information, and you deliver those information to the public. That's your role. So because people are repeating certain things does not mean you need to repeat it. It's your job to investigate, to find out what the truth is, especially if the person availed themselves to you. Now here is what I'm going to say to all of you. You don't have problem with Mr. Cummings. The problem you have with Mr. Cummings is you who in power don't want change. And those of you who are struggling, those who in power want to keep you and your children that way. So they give your children $1 to come and insult somebody that could be a change in your country. That is that. I'm not here to pull frog in taxi and somebody come on my platform looking for attention. Just write. I need you here. So just continue to write what you're writing. Okay. Now, Liberian people don't have problem with gay people. They don't have problem with lesbian because majority of your leaders are gay and lesbian and bisexual. We just watched a man in the government, in security, Peter Bonjala, and his friends party with one little boy for 3 days. He laid down in JFK hospital. I don't see the outrage. You ain't got no problem with that, especially with a child. Then I'm going adult child. I got a video somebody sent me. In fact, I got lots of videos where they send again. That's why I have to change my phone. I have a brand new, and I didn't use so much, iPhone 14 laying down on my table because those times like Grandpa just used to send me all kind of videos with children and grown people. Your people then, Israel, I can say, I can need plenty of them on their knees. Some of the people I send them to and I will call him Emmanuel Gonkwe. I said that your minister then here. The one that used to be at education on their knees for other men. You ain't got no problem with that. You ain't got problem when a little boy graduated from LU and went to go work for Social Security and walking on men doing each other and went away, and when they found him, they called to, we're not going to do nothing, and they decapitated him and threw him in the water. You didn't have no problem with that. You didn't have problem when 7 men join one low 16-year-old boy the other day and raping. I don't see the outrage to you. So you're looking for anything, any excuse to keep our people in the abyss that they're in, the doldrum. This is not going to happen. Some of our our in and out of Liberia every 3 months. I get baby now my daughter on campus. By the time, okay, the next election come, me and Mr. Cummings come and talk. I'll be in Liberia. I see somebody came under my post and say, you support Musa, you can't have you can't serve two masters. I don't have a master. God is my master. God of heaven, the maker of earth, the one my grandparents talk about, that made the mountains and the river and the sea and the birds that can fly and still survive, not being able to make farm. I don't have 2 masters. Mr. Cummings is not my master. Musa Ability is not my master. Musa is my brother. Let me say it to you. Let me say it. He respects my decision that I support Mr. Cummings. He respects Mr. Cummings too. Okay? Yes, it may be Mr. Cummings were not were not running. I could consider. I ran campaign for Musa in Nimba. All right? I ain't got no problem with him. He got no problem. He calls, he check on me. That's my brother. We're family. I want you to remember that. I think Musa is doing what he's supposed to do as a leader of my people. He answering questions and solving the problem. That's what leadership is about. Leadership is about problem solving. It's about looking for means, ways, innovating, having a vision to take you people. Musa didn't go bring flatbed where people can, pregnant women, they can fall or when the Yah River get thick and throw it down and say, oh, zing boat and call it the future. When today we got motor boat, we got in China, train can go under the sea and come out on the other side. One building can hold an entire town in China. Just 1970 something, China had nothing. The people were coming to Liberia to live. I remember I got Chinese cousins. They took over what? 8 billion people or 80 billion people. 80 billion people out of poverty. You got 5 million. You got iron ore. You got diamond. You got sand. You got onyx. You got something that you got logs. You got timber. You got rubber plantation. You got oil. But you elect brainless, lazy, roguish, short-sighted people who just their hand that they give me. God said, can't eat and die with me. Bring your children. You should get my own in my hand. They're running all over the place, competition, building apartment complexes, breaking down people's homes. Then we say there's a law in Liberia that says if you live on the land, you build a home there, you can compensate the person for the land and you keep the place. You get somebody, because they have connection, come and break down people's homes where they've gone to court before and being aborted. Then you're making excuses. Folks, let's make this clear. Those of you who ask me, I, Yasini Martin Peye, support Alexander Cummings. I am the audience on the team. You know, my husband used to say to me when we were in churches, whenever you go to a church that they establish, that is not 200 years old and not 100 years old, that people who started the church, none of them exist except for the pastor. You need to start thinking. It's just like when people start an organization, you should always have a reference point. I am the reference point for Mr. Alexander Cummings. I started this journey with him. You know who house he went to get his blessing to say this is possible before he even retired? My uncle, his name is Moses Carter. He lived in Stone Mountains. Okay, the Lofa elders, the Nimba elders combined, bless him and say it is possible. I was there. I'm one of those people who say it was possible to petition him. Number two, that's our one way. And we're still here. So no, I don't shy away from what I believe in. And I don't serve two gods. I don't serve God. I support. Listen, I'm not a fan. I'm not fanatic. I am informed. I'm well learned. I am educated. I have integrity. I believe in me. And I don't give a fig what anybody thinks about me. Those of you, when you get close to Mr. Cummings, you're asking what he speaks her mind. One day I just told you, I said, Mr. Cummings, when I come on the call, I will not talk. Because sometimes I know I can come on too strong. And for somebody who is older than my older brother, it's like a big brother to me, maybe like a father to me, per se. Okay? If you are more than 13 years older than me, you're a father to me. That means I can be your child. I'm not going to disrespect you. Okay? I can disagree with you. And I have disagreed with Mr. Cummings many times. Many times. I have also agreed. If I didn't agree with him, I wouldn't be here. So no. Musa knows where I stand. We talked. And he respects my position and my decision. That's what relationship is about. You know, it's like when y'all call around, oh, Dr. Richardson, why you still talk to Yah? Why you still talk to, oh, Dr. Richardson and betray y'all? No, she did not. We all have the right to change agency. I feel obligated. I think this is my baby. I gave birth to it. I should see it through. But I also think the Liberian people need to open their eyes. It will take all of us. It will take the Riverside Pro. It will take the Ezekiel. It will take my brother Jabba. Okay? It will take Prince Williams. All right? It will take Moses, Steve Boley. It will take Patrick Mwankwa, whether he likes it or not. Okay? It would take all of us. My brother Joe, King. It would take all of us. Okay? Walkie. It would take us all. Says Miata. Dottie. It would take all of us. Says Rebecca. That's what it would take. Like the people there in New York. From 0% to 1%, people were laughing and saying, well, not possible. He accumulated millions. You know how many people they didn't vote during the last election? In the second round? So, the obstacle is the way. Folks, I will end this with this. I don't know if I have to play this, and that will be my last time playing it. And I will tell you, this is my last time playing this with Obe Obe. Okay, Obe in several days, he told us what he did. So let me play this, and I will call it a night, and this will be that. Look at my paper coming. Here we go. And somebody think being a CEO in America, that easy job. So how can we only have one Liberian that became CEO and they say it's so easy? What happened to the rest of y'all? Why you're not CEO? Why you're running for government job? Why you're not CEO? How many of y'all don't want to take a job that pay millions of dollars a year to be CEO?
Did our job. What we did for George Weah is our Ellis Kumi. He's going to appreciate what we did. Oh, let me tell you one. I went to Royal Hotel upstairs on the 4th floor. The girl who gave me the ring that I'll be wearing, she took me to Royal Hotel on the 4th floor. She said, let's go eat up here. So we went there. I'm sitting down. The next thing I know, Ellis coming walking. He turned around and looked at me.
That's a lie.
I invented it and I stuck it on Ellis Kumi, and it stuck. It stuck. Today did I get to stay on Ellis Kumi? It was something I invented. I said, the girl all over the place. Oh my God. I said, I said, Muna. So I go sit down, Muna, watch on my table like that. Like, she feel blasted me, and then she can ask me, that you don't have a nation? I said, look at it one here. That you don't want to say the men are gay? Oh, right now, in the poor restaurant, the girl want me for me.
Because you are a wicked
Also,
asshole.
she, in the crowd, looking around the place, so crowded, foreign guests all over the place. That you don't want to say the men are gay? You call the men gay? And I get it. I invented it and I stuck it on Ellis Cumming, and it stuck. It stuck. Today did I get it still on Ellis Cumming? It was something I invented. And the way I did it, I called somebody from Atlanta, where you are living. So I created a story, and I called the person and attached the person's name to it. The person is a big librarian guy too. He said, yeah, my man, they will tell you that too. So I use that person as a reference. That information. So that's what we did for Josh Weir to get him to where he is. Shit.
So that was Obe. That was Obe. Those were what they did. They didn't want competition. So if the people were going to kill Mr. Cummings, they were going to kill him. And then he was going to come back. He actually came back and confessed, and he apologized. He had a video out there apologizing to Mr. Cummings, but the damage were already done. And I see people are still asking this question. So I don't know. Juliet Jordan still sending this. They need to, Juliet Jordan need to look at, yeah, it's the record. And I'm going to find his number. I'm going to send it to him. Maybe he need to play that. Okay. And I think they said based on question that Mr. Cummings have answered. Let me tell you something, and I think I will talk about it tomorrow morning. I work in America. I work in a school system. Okay. And I have to deal with children who have different names, pronouns. You have kids who say they're fluid. You got kids who say they're metrosexual. You have kids who have different identity. All right. My job as an educator is to treat everyone per the law with dignity, without prejudice. It may not be my value, it may not be my lifestyle, but that's my job. That's what I signed up for. So I should follow the ethical rules. And I get, in fact, I have training coming on. I get trained every year. We are reminded every year. Okay. Yes. So here we go. I'm gonna leave it here. I think Mr. Cummings had a great interview. And the journalists in Liberia, I think they need to do some things differently. They have to investigate before they bring this thing out, to people. So these things, and even if somebody call you with that, you answer the question and say that question have been answered. Have you seen this man? The man have been in this place for over a decade. Have you heard that he has a girlfriend? Have you heard that he slept with, and you're sleeping with your little boys then all over the place? Why you're looking for demons somewhere else when you people are right there? Your NSA director, the last time when Etheridge went to court, the children that they lied on and said they burned building, the boy came by and said he was raped in jail. He said it. The video is out here. So what y'all want? I'm going to leave there because we're diverting completely from what we need to be talking about. We need to be talking about how do we change Liberia? How do we create jobs? How do we give our people back their dignity? How do we do that? How do we change the culture of impunity? How do we change that? Those should be our focus point. That's it. My time here been over like an hour. I'll talk to you later. You'll have a good evening. Here I go. We're going to end this with Mr. Cummings back on here. All right. And we just close with that now.
Design and publication of Liberia Community College Yearbook, first graduating class 8,000 hours, 2016. partner with Chicago Bright Foundation in providing safe drinking water in deprived communities in Painesville, Mike County, $3,000 2016. Annually, Communist Africa Foundation makes contributions for operations of the Arizona Green Communist Model Science and Technology School of Painesville, building expansion, 2018-2019, $120,000, $197,000. That's the Communist Africa Foundation Health Infrastructure Support Project, distributed medical equipment to 64 hospitals across the previously Rennie, Kakata, Maggie County, CB, Tomba, Banga, Bon County, Government Hospital, Grand Bassa, Ginger Dawson, Maryland, Coram, Nutrient, Zozo, Zufa, and Riapo Health Center official Virginia, and 2 clinics of the C Clinic West Point and Robert Moore Clinic in Johnsonville, $565,000, 2017. Established a Communist Scholars nationwide scholarship program at tertiary institutions, $93,000. That's $93,023, 2017 to 2019. CAF, that's Communist Africa Foundation Innovation Bazaar, showcasing being like Grow Products, $5,000, 2017. That's a whole lot. And your scholarship from 2015 to 2025 for tertiary institution, $160,049. For 2015 to 2024, Arizona B. Cummings Model Science and Technology School, $780,837. Anti-rape and gender-based violence on 2020 to 2021, $42,744. COVID-19, 2020, 2021. 2020, $78,291, 2021, $109,802. It is a whole lot. I will stop right there.
It's not a comprehensive list either, right?
Wow.
We've done more, but again, the point is, Julius, though, and that's the learning maybe in politics. I need to have people know this. So, the next time I get any donation anywhere, I will just call the press and say, y'all can't see what I'm doing for Liberia, right? It doesn't feel right to me. Right? I help because I've been blessed. I didn't do it for political reasons. I wanted to give back. My family and I, right? But we get no acknowledgement, we get no credit. And the critics kind of use that. But at the same time, again, people who've elected office at every level, the list not even close to that, right? But look, that's okay. The facts are there. And to the extent we can, we'll keep helping our country and our people, but I'll just make it more public.
Before we get to governance issues, I need to ask you this, Mr. Coons. Are you gay, adjective, or are you a gay now?
So I'm gonna maybe use an abusive word on your program.
No, please don't.
Accusation is complete bullshit. So,
No, please.
and I'm not gonna say it again. I had to say that, but now I will say BS maybe to clean it up a bit. But it's complete nonsense. We just talked about Teresa and I, marriage for 40 plus years, children, grandchildren. I talk about my Christian values, growing up in a Christian home, my father, Episcopal priest. That is just complete nonsense. It's political. The guy who started making up that stuff, and then I'll talk about the quote-unquote interview, because they don't play the interview in full context, right? They play parts of it. But the guy who made it and started to push it was a sedition, right? And so the CDC pushed it, but UP pushed it even more. It comes up kind of political season. It's when they use it. And I always say it's the kind of the political class, the people that benefit Liberia from the way it is today and don't want it to change. They use that kind of spurious, sickening accusation against me.
Have you ever supported gay initiatives?
No,
personally?
No. There is nothing that has been said about me in politics that has bothered me more than that accusation. Because politics is politics, people make up stuff. I won't use the other word I use. But it's complete nonsense, complete BS. Julius. And again, nothing else pisses me off than that. And Liberians, I think, underneath kind of know that that's not a lifestyle I support.
So let's come to the late Mamadou Diakite interview. What was it? What were you saying, especially when you say it's a lifestyle that you struggle to?
Yeah. So it's a style I struggle with because I do, not for me personally, but I struggle with people who live that lifestyle. So that was the struggle, not my struggle.
Oh, okay. So like how to deal with them, how to
So just the choice of that lifestyle is the one I struggle with. I don't want people. I struggle with people who live that way. That's the one for me. But they usually have